Hello and welcome to Storyville. My name is Jackson Holbrook and I'm the new head bartender here. Now let's cut to the chase. It's probably going to be a while before you guys come see me in my bar again. So what I've decided is while we're going through these trying times, there's no reason we can't have a good drink. So I'm going to teach you how to make some of Storyville's most iconic cocktails, as well as some of the most well-known cocktails throughout history. So let me share some of my recipes with you. Very basically, let me run you through some of the tools we're going to be using today. Today we're doing a stirred down cocktail, so there's going to be no shaking involved. So you need some kind of measuring implement, as I call it, a jigger. We need a measuring glass and something to strain it with. A glass to put your drink into. So however you spend to choose your life, that's your choice. What do you choose to do for work, your friends, you choose your family, or you can choose not to do anything, and that's fine as well. But why would you choose not to do anything? Well, as Irene Welsh said, who needs reasons when you have heroin? And one of my favourite questions to ask customers behind the bar is, so, have you had heroin before? No, you haven't? That's fine, that's fine. I can teach you. Before I get into teaching heroin, let's get into the drink first. So, welcome to Drug Taking 101. At Storyville, we choose strong booze. Today, I'm going to teach you how to do a choose life. This is a cocktail based on a 1993 novel by Irene Welsh called Trainspotting. So, to begin, this is a riff off the Old Fashioned. An Old Fashioned is one of the very first cocktails ever invented. A traditional Old Fashioned is 2 ounces of bourbon, 15 ml of sugar syrup, and a little bit of bitters. We play with that a little bit, so today we're using the Rittenhouse Rye, which is a type of bourbon, but it's a rye bourbon. And instead of the 60 ml for a normal traditional bourbon, we're going to use 30 ml of our rye. Once that one's all sorted out, to replace the 30 ml of rye that we're missing, we sub in the Dusse Cognac. The reason we sub this out is because it's going to give us a more of a complex and strong flavour profile than just a straight bourbon. Cognac is a type of aged wine. It's going to give us a lot more spicy taste that are going to give the drink a larger complex tasting palate. Up next, for your traditional old fashioned, you need 15 ml of sugar syrup. Now, I've got sugar here, but I'm going to take my small jigger and simply measure out 5 millimeters. Now, that is considerably less than the original recipe calls for, and I'll explain why in a minute, but I've got to finish making the drink first. Up next, we're using Peychaud's bitters. This is a French...
Hey, Editor Jack here. I just wanted to correct myself. Peychaud's bitters was invented by a Frenchman living in America, specifically New Orleans. So, some call it French, some call it American. I don't know, I just want to get it wrong. Bye.
Bitters that's based around the flavours of cherry notes, orange notes, and aniseed, which is the licorice style. So, simply from your bitter bottle, Simply from your bitter bottle, take 2 dashes, and that's all. So, for our choose life so far, I've got 30 ml of our rye, 30 ml of our cognac, 2 dashes of bitters, 5 ml of sugar syrup, and now for some ice. Now, when you're stirring your drink, you've got to be very careful because we don't want to break the ice too much to allow too much dilution. So, take your stirring spoon down the back of the glass and rotate around. You want to stir for about 35 to 45 seconds, depending on the temperature of your ice, the size of your glass, and your stirring method and everything. Because all we're aiming for is we want to get a dilution level, a low dilution level, and a temperature level of around -4 to -8 degrees. Once you're happy with the temperature and the dilution of the drink, you simply want to get your strainer and strain it into your glassware. Now, it wouldn't be Storyville without some kind of over-the-top eccentric garnish, and that's why I only put 5 ml of sugar in it before. So, if you want to make this the way Storyville do, you simply then take your cocktail and put a spoon on top. So we've got our altered old fashioned, as we call the choose life. Now, let's show off a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of brown sugar, place it on the end of our spoon, which is the reason why we only use 5 ml of brown sugar inside the cocktail. Just place it in the center, and then, because we choose to use strong liquor, we are going to coat this in a house-made absinthe mix. But any absinthe or high ABV liquor you have at home will work just fine. So, soak that one in. And once the sugar started to dissolve a little bit, It's time to do some heroin. So once you've got your heroin on fire, simply drop it into the cocktail, stir it around to soak the ice in, and thank you for choosing life. This is an incredibly powerful drink. As all old fashions are, we simply just have booze and a little bit of sugar. But you can really taste the difference between the bourbon and the cognac on the front and back palate. You get that really strong rye kick in the front teeth as you kind of sip the drink to begin with, but once that one moves to the back, you really get the spicy warmness of the cognac that we use. And that's how you choose life. This has been Storyville. My name has been Jackson Holbrook. Thank you very much for joining me today. And stay tuned for more recipes, because I've got a few more ones coming down the pipeline that I think you guys might recognize. Thank you very much.